Welcome back to the MLS Review Show. Real Salt Lake returned to Rio Tinto as DC United comes to town. But first, Robert Warzija and the crew head down to Houston. Coming off their first win in 8 matches, Dominic Kinnear and Houston were poised to get back on track and hold their rank in the East. Last week, Dynamo captain Brad Davis was named to the MLS Team of the Week for a record 5th straight time this season. With Brian Jing continuing to come off the bench, his protege Will Bruin would step back into the spotlight and try to abuse the Crew's defense. Leaving Houston with 3 points would be difficult for Columbus. The Black and Gold had yet to record a win away from Crew Stadium this season and had never come out the winner in Houston. However, tied on points with the Dynamo, head coach Robert Warzija knew what was at stake. With both Jeff Cunningham and Emilio Renteria ruled out with injuries, Tommy Heineman returned up top with Andres Mendoza. Glenn Davis had the call from a sweltering Robertson Stadium.
Former Major League Soccer player, and Warzija is 2-0-2 lifetime against Houston. His Columbus Crew in the all-black tonight, taking on the Dynamo in orange. Amazing he did not get picked up by Miranda. Right-footed shot, save Hesper. Trouble. Mendoza, Heineman, Honor to Mendoza to try and punish the mistake, and he does. Andres Mendoza. Honor in only his 2nd start with a wonderful ball to Mendoza. He beat Level Palmer with the outside of his foot. Honor is down inside the center circle. Level Palmer got it, and Level Palmer has been ejected. It's his 2nd yellow. It's a late tackle on Honor. Miranda. Heineman to make it 2, shot it wide. Towards Bruin. Marshall has come out of the middle. Marshall slipped. Bruin got past him. He's got no support. He's got to go himself. Bruin! Save Hesper! He swatted it away. Ash whips it into the box. Top of the box, Davis to tie it up. Save Hesper again. Almost in self-defense. Here's Will Bruin. And at this point, he's got to go alone. Good positioning from Hesper. He swats it away and then to Davis. Drills it at the near post, and again, Will Hesper standing up very bravely in goal. Miro against Boswell. Miro, a little change of pace. Squares it, maybe 2. Honor shot it right at Tally Hall. 2nd chance, he scores. Miro with a change of pace here, fresh off the bench. You think he could hit the empty net. He hits it right at Hall and gets a gratuitous bounce. Goes back onto his right foot after this save from Hall. Dynamo can't get in front of it. Marshall, Ching, can Ching get there and get a touch to it? There's an empty net. Brian Ching picked off the line and away by Julius James. Boswell will head it back to Tally Hall. Anno looks at the watch again. Puts whistle to mouth, and that's it. The Columbus Crew have waltzed into Robertson Stadium. They pick off a 2-0 win tonight. It is their first ever win in Houston, and it is their first road win of the year.
On the heels of a 2-2 draw with Toronto last weekend, the LA Galaxy hit the road to take on the defending champion Colorado Rapids. Both teams came into the match in excellent form. Galaxy unbeaten in 8 games and the Rapids without a loss in 9. With numerous injuries among the front line, Colorado had prided itself on the hunger of its defensive unit. Stellar performances on the back 5 led to just 7 goals given up since April. The Rapids attack would have a spark off the bench as Omar Cummings returned from a prolonged injury. After giving up the late equalizer against Toronto, LA's Juan Pablo Angel said it best: "We have to start winning again." Head coach Bruce Arena knew without Landon Donovan and David Beckham, he would need someone else to spark the usually energetic midfield. A mix of young talents and veteran leaders would have to work for the entire 90 minutes if they wanted to leave Colorado with 3 points. Chris Marlowe and Brian Crookham were at altitude from Dick's Sporting Goods Park.
Well, the wind's blowing straight up and down the field to this point, and I think you're going to see at some point when you see some longer balls that being a factor.
Another good young defender for the Galaxy. On the move is Birchall. He's got an opportunity, and it's going to be an own goal.
Dangerous balls that are getting played in there, and just flat out being able to pay attention and deal with that space there.
Galaxy on the near side, on the attack. It's Mike McGee. He shoots, and it's taken in. Birchall's ball is deflected, played out by Moore, held in by the Galaxy. The shot, and it goes in!
Nobody steps to press. Obviously a great strike from Juninho. I think they've done a good job of those things.
A good shot there, and it's too high. Omar Cummings with a little room. Takes a rip off the post, and Casey follows it up.
Look at the effort from Cummings, not only to get on the ball, but to get that shot off.
Next 7 games. But he has sparkled tonight since he has come on.
This is going to be a problem here.
And one of the Galaxy members is down, and they are calling for immediate help.
Ballon's been ejected. The ball gets away from him. He goes to chase into it. Gets him with that back leg.
So indeed, they say red card. Omar Cummings. LA with a takeaway, and it's a breakaway. And the goal.
Perfectly paced ball from Donovan. Good finish there by Barrett.
And that is it. LA Galaxy come to Dick's Sporting Goods Park and get the result they were looking for. A 3-1 victory.
A Real Salt Lake squad that had registered just 1 win since the loss of Javier Morales received a pleasant surprise ahead of this week's matchup with DC United. Key midfielder Will Johnson would be available off the bench after his stint with the Canadian national team. Keen to his team's recent dip in form, Johnson took no time off before heading back to Salt Lake. Currently 5th in the West, the Claret and Cobalt were on the fringe of the playoff picture, with red-hot San Jose jumping at their coattails. Jason Kreis's men looked to take 1 step closer to returning to normalcy and re-establish their dominance at home. DC United headed into Rio Tinto intending to shake off last weekend's home loss. The young team didn't lack shots on goal, but an inexperienced backline left holes to be plugged. After notching his first goal of 2011 last week, Andy Nahar would continue to regain the form that made him the 2010 Rookie of the Year. Head coach Ben Olsen would add some experience off the bench, bringing versatile midfielder Dax McCarty and Charlie Davies back into the lineup. Dave Johnson and Thomas Rongen brought you the action from Rio Tinto Stadium.
Back to success for the black and red. You know what? He's having a very good season so far, must be said. 4-5-4 on 16 points. We are underway. Almost gets to the 6. A second chance driven across. Ricochet. This is Pontius. It's in the net. It's in the net. But the flag is up.
And then Wolf, as I thought, in an offsides position, and a good call by the linesman.
Beltran. He sees Colin Warner. Warner in a dangerous position. Alexander making a run. Not done yet as Andy Williams, the veteran. Williams with the left foot. Hamid the save. Espindola. This one ricochets, and Perry Kitchen is able to clear.
Andy Williams taking a little bit too long, and then Bill Hamid does a great job, actually, Dave, by making the angle a lot smaller.
Chris Pontius, he just wants a goal. Going at Beltran. Pontius with the left foot. Romano the save. Espindola gets a shot off. Hamid is runaway challenge.
Espindola can hit one from distance, but almost surprises Bill Hamid.
Little back here by Alexander. Beckerman coming through. And then Sims gets up. Penalty kick. It's off his arm in the box.
Watch this. Watch the left. Oh, my God. And that's, to me, a tough call.
37 minutes in. Hamid, the goalkeeper, Espindola shot. It's in the net. Real Salt Lake leads. Pontius turning it on Beltran. Brettsteiner. The flick for Pontius. Oh! Off the crossbar. Great little tap by Brettsteiner for Pontius, and he just hits the frame. This is what United needs. Fred is making a run centrally. This is Charlie Davies. Davies now approaching the box. Davies is taken down. No, the penalty kick is awarded. That's Wingert. As Davies goes down, Davies the approach, the shot into the net. On the jostling, Ethan White is coming forward. Nahar instead, this will go to Pontius. Chris Pontius. Oh, that's the second time tonight.
What?
He's hit the bar.
Wow, the second time he hits the crossbar.
And that's it. Wow, DC United almost bagged 3 points. Instead, They elicit boos from the crowd here at Rio Tinto Stadium, but no doubt cheers back in Washington.
Coming up on the MLS Review Show, Danny Mwanga and the Union make their first trip up to Empire Field. Catch up on all the relevant soccer stories around the world each weekday morning with The Kickoff, compiled by fan favorite Simon Borg. Whether it's a story about the latest European superstar linked to an MLS team, a controversial quote from a head coach, or a game preview with an interesting slant, you'll find it in The Kickoff. With as many as 20 links within the article, you can learn all you need to in the world of soccer with just one stop each morning. Welcome back. Brek Shea and FC Dallas were determined to bounce back from their first loss in 10 matches as they head for the Home Depot Center to face Chivas USA. But first, the Whitecaps hosted the Union at Empire Field. After Vancouver's impressive 2-2 draw at Quest Field last week against the Sounders, Eric Hasley would look to replicate his performance, which included the dazzling goal of the week, garnering over 4 million hits on YouTube. Tom Sohn and Philly head coach Peter Novak have quite the history, playing together for the Chicago Fire. Sohn was also Novak's assistant while at DC United. Aiding in Vancouver's quest for a win was the return of Terry Dunfield after returning from the Gold Cup. The Union would be without Carlos Ruiz, the man who scored to beat the Whitecaps in the team's first meeting earlier this season. However, the Union traveled to Vancouver with a fresh face among the ranks. Serbian striker Veljko Panovic joined the team earlier in the week after a successful trial. The 33-year-old spent 13 years in the Spanish La Liga and brought some much-needed depth up front. Unbeaten in 8 matches, the Union was looking to bury the West Coast side and stay atop the Eastern Conference standings. Craig McEwen and Martin Nash had the call from a packed Empire Field.
The ball should move nicely on this surface now that it's a little bit slick. The players can really move the ball.
Philadelphia Union kicked things off here at Empire. It's just right after that Jade America hurt was missed so much time. So clever footwork there. Okumiento, Alain Rochat, people in the box. He has a strike! It's in the back of the net! A cracker from Alain Rochat, and the Caps are on the board!
He just took a great first touch, teed it up, and bent it right in that far post.
He did well to keep possession and play it back, and Salinas now down the right side with Serpace. Salinas, Camilo making a run at the back post. He sets it nicely. Oh! Caps attacking again. Rofsky to Hasley. Nice turn in the shot. Just over the bar.
There's a good little touch there. Just got a little bit too much of it, but a fantastic skill by the big man.
Winning some balls in the air. Hasley tries to pick out Kyle Fran. Mondragon with a bad touch. Kumienzo now with Mondragon way out of his net. Kyle Fran. Can he put it home? Mwanga down the right-hand side. Can Leathers keep tabs on him? Mwanga steps inside to Latu. Latu with the chance. Precious moments ticking down. The Union into the box. Leathers wins that. The knockdown goes to Torres. And there is the whistle. The Caps with their 3rd shutout of the year and just their 2nd victory. A 14-game winless streak is history.
The match of the week featured 2 teams coming off losses when FC Dallas traveled to the Home Depot Center to take on Chivas USA. The Goats returned home finding themselves in 7th place in the West after dropping a 2-1 result in Houston last week. Robin Frazier's men looked to put last week behind them and continue to build off their positive play over the last month. Rookie defenseman Zarek Valentin was reinserted into the back line, and 20-year-old Tristan Bowen returned to the bench after a 2-month stay on the injured list. FC Dallas head coach Shellis Heineman knew his team's 9-game unbeaten streak would come to an end at some point. However, he was stunned to see it happen at home in a 4-1 loss to basement dweller Sporting Kansas City. Speedy Marvin Chavez would hope to run at a Chivas defense that had a familiar face in Heath Pierce. Pierce's former teammate would also rely on the continued presence of Brek Shea's streaking runs into the final third, as Dallas would try to inch closer to catching the Galaxy atop the Western Conference. Bobby Ryan and Steve Jolly were at the Home Depot Center to bring you the action.
This is the first meeting between these two sides this season. Edvin Jurasevich, the center official, gets things started at the Home Depot Center. Opportunity here for a counterattack. It's Mondaini. As Benitez loses his footing. This is a 2-on-1 here. Mondaini leading the way. Mondaini. It's Andrew Jacobson. So perhaps there's some space in behind that Chivas USA defense from a midfield runner.
That's partly one of the reasons.
As an example, it's a ball from Jacobson. It's fallen for Shea!
High back four by Chivas. Breck Shea seeing it, coming through, finishing it off for his 6th goal of the season.
It's a Saturday night, a great way to get your weekend kicked off. This is Castillo threatening on the Chivas goal. It's parried away by Dan Kennedy.
Oh, Castillo did himself a disservice that first touch.
But a swung in favor of FC Dallas. They never got that second half effort they were looking for, but they've gotten it here tonight at the Home Depot Center. It's Castillo charging towards Kennedy. Castillo! Big save by Kennedy. It's Eric Alexander looking for an attempt on target and can't do so in the end.
You can see here just getting a little bit of a nick, forcing it a little bit wide and off the far post. This game is wide open now. This is tough for FC Dallas trying to close this one out.
LaHood attempt on target. Kevin Hartman nearly got a finger to it.
LaHood benefit, looked like it was nipped a little bit. Couldn't see who it was from.
It's like George John, I believe, Steve.
Stretching his leg out. George John.
This is Hernandez over the wall. Hernandez, big save by Kennedy. And a great save from Kennedy.
Man.
But it's really been Chivas USA forcing the issue as the home side here tonight. This is Jackson. It's fallen for him. Jackson! And a goal!
Do not know what LaHood was thinking here, letting the ball off. Not much communication by his goalie. You can see here, he had no idea what to do there.
The whistle there from Jurasevich. Last opportunity perhaps for Elliott, but that's it. The final whistle's been blown by the center official. That's the end of full time. FC Dallas, final score 2-1 over Chivas USA.
There's definitely an issue of precision that needs to happen in the final third to score goals. And I think when we've done that, we've been effective. And tonight, I thought we were not particularly precise in the final third.
We really needed this after last week. We didn't perform to our standards. And I think tonight we came out and showed that we're a better team than we were last week.
Breck, as you can see, he's turning into a man. You know, he was a boy that came into this league at 18, and every year he's just getting better and better.
Coming up on the MLS Review Show, the quarterfinals of the Gold Cup are underway as Bob Bradley's men square off with Jamaica at RFK Stadium. MLSsoccer.com is home to the best original soccer content on the web. This includes regular weekly features like John Bolster's Monday postgame, kicking off each week, reviewing the events from the previous one. On Tuesday, the MLS Power Rankings come out, illustrating the current position of each team in the opinion of the editorial staff. Postcard from Europe features a Q&A with American playing abroad every Wednesday. Peer into the mind of MLS Soccer's Jonah Friedman every Thursday with The Throw-In. Finally, Fridays bring the Armchair Analyst, where Matthew Doyle breaks down a statistical or tactical trend in the world of MLS or the U.S. national team. All of this and much more, including all the breaking news and updates, every week on MLSsoccer.com.